What's up, everyone? It's your boy. I'm just gonna cut the bullshit. I'm just gonna start talking, right? Nintendo recently had a direct. My boy watched it. I actually hopped on a stream for a little bit so we could talk about it. Not to steal clout or anything, but I'm already unknown. We take what we can get. Nintendo announced this game that, to some capacity, I didn't think would ever happen. I thought at most we'd maybe get it ported to like a virtual console, but no, it's a full 3D remake, and I'm talking about Super Mario RPG. I know that you know that I am a fiend. I am an absolute deviant for a good RPG. But that being said, there are a bunch of classics that I haven't played that I don't tell people in public, because then I'm a fake RPG fan, which might still ring true, but that's neither here nor there right now. I absolutely lost my shit when I was watching the direct. And I took this news a couple ways, right? Both of them good, but I took it a couple ways. On one hand, take this as a self-proclaimed RPG aficionado. I don't even know if that's the right word I'm trying to say here. The way I present myself and my affinity towards that genre should probably have played the classics, right? In the same way that like someone's a huge rap fan, you're required to listen to Tupac or something. There's a bunch of certified hood classics that I haven't touched. That sounds crazy. Super Mario RPG is actually one of the games in that list that I haven't played ever, which is also the same story for Earthbound, the Mother series, which I actually started recently, and that one's been actually pretty good. I've been messing that game up. So I'm excited to experience this game. You know, maybe things change from the original. Maybe at the end of the day, people are going to play it and say, yeah, the original was better. But it's Nintendo. I don't think they're going to heavily censor a Mario game, because I feel Mario is... It's Mario. Like, what can you censor, really? So that's one way I take it. RPG fan finally getting his hands on the classics, which I truly appreciate. On the other hand, slightly more negative, but you know, still positive at the end of the day, I am a massive Paper Mario fan. My very first Paper Mario game was 1,000 Year Door on GameCube. I played that game front to back. I remember I spent a whole summer, like my parents got it for me like the summer in between school years, and I didn't leave the house. Like, that's the only thing I did. So that game bussin', so bussin' that when I got my computer, I undertook certain activities, and let's just say I somehow played the original Paper Mario. It's up there. Like, in my top 10, those two are definitely in there. Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door might be number 1, but that's not important right now, because now we have to talk about the rest of the Paper Mario games. Super Paper Mario for the Wii. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't what I wanted. I was a big fan of how they portrayed the first two games, how these battles were taking place in a theater, you're performing for an audience, and I don't know, just something about that whole aesthetic, the way the battles worked, the way they were interactive, yet still maintaining that turn-based kind of feel. It really clicked for me. A lot of critique with turn-based combat is you're just, you know, pressing the button, taking turns, but it felt different with Paper Mario in a way that I didn't feel with other RPGs at the time, right? So that was one of my favorite games of that era, and probably of all time because of that. Super Paper Mario instead opted for a more, I don't want to say action RPG, like a platformer RPG. Really don't know how to word it, which I guess in its own way makes it kind of cool. Swapping between 2D, 3D spaces. It was a cool little gimmick. It had a cool story. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite games, but I enjoyed that game a lot. I don't remember the order these next games came out. I'm just gonna talk about them. Paper Mario Color Splash, I did not touch, because just watching combat, just watching the story, not seeing like you have a party, you have these people that go with you on your adventures. It just kind of lost that campy kind of going on a trip with me and my friends kind of vibe. The changes to the battle system were so drastic, it turned me off. Sticker Star was the same way, and I really didn't like how they handled the gimmicks of you having to buy these stickers or get these paper mache, whatever. Look, I haven't played the game more than an hour. That's all that I retain. I'm sorry if that's your favorite game. I don't care. So we get to current day. A couple weeks ago, I finally bought myself Paper Mario and the Origami King. It's fun. I think. I mean, I played it. I don't know how much y'all care about spoilers for a game that came out like a while ago, especially for like a Paper Mario game after Paper Mario's descent into madness. Let's just say there was 4 major things I had to unravel. I did 2 of them, and I turned it off. and never came back. Again, it's not that the game was bad, and I actually appreciate that they tried to do something different, tried to be a little more creative with this one, which Paper Mario games, I will say they're always creative. I cannot fault them on that, always creative. But the battle system, it didn't mesh with me. You know, I'm stuck in my ways, I'm an old head, I just want a turn-based RPG, I just want to jam, you know? Now, all that unnecessary background, we get back to the announcement of we get to the announcement of Super Mario RPG. Like, the RPG fan in me always wanted to play that game. The Paper Mario fan in me was longing for like this mystical Mario RPG that was just out of reach and never going to come back. And here it is, it's back, and it looks prettier than it ever has before. So again, I don't know too much about Super Mario RPG, but I do know that a game has to be especially like spectacular, special to people's hearts if a character appears in that game, never appears again in the series, and to this day people are upset that this character is not in Smash Ultimate, a game from about 2 decades. About 2 decades ago. More than 2 decades. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Anyway, if you played it, what are your thoughts on Super Mario RPG? Are you gonna buy the remake? That's it, really. Don't have anything else. I'm back. I just want to talk to people about the shit that I love. So here we are. This time I legitimately don't have an outro because I don't use Filmora anymore. So I'm gonna leave it here.